your process and your process and your process, and you have to repeat every process over and over and over again, and you have to make sure that it is done very pinpoint precision.
Because it's got to taste the same.
It's got to taste the same, and when you do that for so long, and you really have that under your belt, coming down here to a much smaller scale, I still carry with that because that's how I learned how to make beer. So that's how I still carry the way I make beer to this day, where the process is almost more important than the recipe. I mean, to some extent, it is more important than the recipe. If I don't follow the process in the correct way, the recipe could be the best recipe in the world. I've just made a ruined beer if I don't follow the process. And coming from such a big brewery where we are a manufacturing plant at the end of the day, it puts things into perspective and gives you a much better handle on timelines, scheduling, and I'm able to this tank's for this tank's for that, and like you can kind of like pinpoint movements, and like at the end of the day, the beer still tells you when it's ready, but you can make some production decisions, whether it's enzyme decisions, whether it's temperature decisions, whether it's even just timeline decisions, and you can kind of coerce sometimes where it's like, all right, it should be ready in 2 weeks. It's like still fermenting. It's like, yeah, but I did this, and this, or like little big guy tricks that you can kind of put things a little bit better of a timeline.
Right. So you never really you weren't able to pick up really bad habits because of the fact that you were just already on this massive scale, and you're learning from some of the best, because there's so many people that have come out of Lakewood that have done their own amazing stuff as well. I mean, Vector won.
Me and Tommy basically cut our teeth together at Lakewood. We worked together quite often up to the end. He ran when he was running the sour program. Me and him were partnering on that. Basically that was our project. He ran the lead, and then me and him, I remember we would be in that little warehouse that they used to have where the sour program was, and we'd be up until midnight hand bottling sour beer. Me and him, those were good days, and so I'm so happy to see that what they're doing at Vector with that continuation, because he's one of the better, if not the best, sour brewers in DFW.
I love that brewery so much. It's
they're great.
Amazing. Yeah, I wish it was closer to me. I live in Fort Worth, but but the food's great too.
Go Lost Y'all's good sour brewery. R.I.P. Collective.
Yeah. No shit. Well, we got Martin House, so I mean, the Vision is honestly one of the best.
The Vision's great.
Yeah, which not a lot of people talk about, just because you have to go there to get their beer.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Like here, you have to go there, go here to get your beer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be as much as I would love to do sour beer, I just don't have the facilities to do it.
Oh yeah, you need
I don't really have the space to even have a barrel, even, like barely. So what I hope to do in the near future is buy outside beer from local and even around the world, where it's like, if I can't make a goose, I'll just buy gooses and just have those available on sale.
Right.
That's something I really want this place to kind of we're going to kind of work into, because we're going to bring in liquor soon. Which will balance out with the neighborhood. I think the neighborhood is really primed for something like that. It's kind of the old Brain Dead thing, where it's like Brain Dead didn't need liquor, but for being in Deep Ellum, if they had it, it would have made more sense. But that's kind of what we're looking at here, where it's like just having beer is doing well. Let's go ahead and piggyback on that, and we can even extend our hours.
Yeah.
But long story short, in doing that, I'm able to then get guest beers, because the licenses change and yada yada. We have to get a distributor, and that's TABC nonsense.
There's a lot of dumb rules they have. Yeah.
But what that allows me to do is, like if I can't make it, I'll just bring it in, and I have a deep reverence for beer and and how it's changed my life for the better, in terms of like finding something for me to do, and like I met my wife through all of this, and so on and so forth. That if if I can't make it, someone else made a better version. I'll buy something from Europe. I'll buy something from Belgium. I'll buy something from California. I'll buy something from two blocks down.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about Jaquval beer. It's kind of about the whole of its entirety.
Right.
Especially with like places like Gingerman going out in Uptown. I miss that place.
Oh, that one went out too. I know the Fort Worth one did.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I know the one in Uptown got leased out. And that was the only place you can get draft Duval. Come on.
Yeah.
They had the dry hop Duval too. It was really good. Anyway, sorry, that's a side tangent.
Was your wife a brewer also?
No.
Okay. Then I had when I was at Lakewood.
Oh, that was Rael and that was
Okay.
Ashton. So Ashton is who took over for me after I left. He was my other brewer.
Okay.
There, and yeah, him and Rael are the husband-wife brewer combo in town.
Yeah, she had, I guess, worked somewhere else. It was a bad situation, and I guess she had now been at Lakewood.
Brutal, I believe, who were no longer around.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Was it Brutal?
I think it was Brutal.
Yeah, Brutal's definitely closed now. I don't know. I met another female brewer who also had not good things to say about being a female brewer in the Metroplex, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a topic for a whole different conversation.
Well, I have them on it because
I have heard all the inklings, and I have talked to a lot of female brewers, and they all say the same thing. So, but I don't know enough of the details, and I'm deep enough voice that I should not probably be saying things I don't know about.
Exactly, because it hadn't happened to you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not your story to tell. Mm-hmm. Now, this place is okay. Well, first off, they already had Jason and, like you said, Amy own Oddfellows next door, and they own
Revelers Hall.
That's right, which is
so they already had their
bar.
So they already had their footprint in Bishop Arts.
So that's how they already had the location.
Yeah.
I was wondering how they got this amazing, because this area, you said Deep Ellum, it clicked in my head after you said it. This seems like this whole area now is almost like Deep Ellum, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Before it took the first dive. And it
This is one thing. So I'm not from the Bishop Arts. I've always lived up in the north suburbs of Dallas, like Garland and Carrollton and Plano and stuff like that. So working this far south, I now have a much different, not different, but much newer lens and appreciation for what this neighborhood is.
The vibes are way different down here.
It is, and it's actually really interesting and really eye-opening, and it makes me actually treat the brew pub that much different in how I make beers. You have to adapt. You always have to. You always have to brew. Your customers are the most important people, no matter what. If I just brewed what I wanted to brew only, that's not the point.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then I'll brew something different. And so, what I mean to say is the thing I've noticed here in Bishop Arts that's actually very unique to us, and Deep Ellum probably has a similar thing, is I'm now realizing Bishop Arts is the only, if not the place in Dallas that has tourists. When people come to Dallas from around the world, they're not going to Addison.
No.
Or whatever. Like, they're not going to Lake Highlands even.
Or Carrollton. Or
But or even Uptown for that matter. Like, they're
not anymore.
Bishop Arts and Deep Ellum are like the two little shining neighborhoods for, like, if you were coming here from Germany, from England, from Australia. We get a lot of Australians in here.
Awesome.
We get a lot of tourists that roll through Bishop Arts because it is. Like, if you looked on TripAdvisor, it's gonna recommend you come here, and there's tons of Airbnbs around here. So like, we get a lot of tourists, both domestic and international, and that's something I've never seen as a client before. Whenever I've had to do recipe development or beer marketing at Lakewood, it was about what does the Texas drinker want. A lot, and like not all, but a lot of my customers are just wandering in, going, "Oh, cool! It's an American brewery," and their expectation is different than Martin House's expectation.
Of course.
So that little difference makes me like, okay, I have to kind of like treat my recipes a little different to tailor to the idea of what a brew pub, gastropub is in Bishop Arts.
Yeah.
it sounds more complicated than it is because it's funny that makes it simpler than it is.
Right.
I get to be a little bit more like, let's go back to basics then, and everything just has to be fire.
Yeah.
Everything just has to be great,
Right.
and don't go off the wall.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing so far, and it's been getting a lot of good response.
Yeah, I was wondering, so this is somewhat of an English pub fight feel for people who haven't been here yet. So I was wondering how you did kind of skew your choices of beer styles to not only this, but like you just mentioned, the tourists that do come through here.
So we, it's funny, because we do get called an English pub quite a lot. It's funny.
You have the Union Jack.
No, I know. That got
And
put up a
fish
while
and
back.
chips and-
Yeah, no, we definitely have that. So what's interesting is when they started and had the concept in their head, it actually came from their trip to Budapest. And a little combination with Budapest and a little combination of when they went to Munich Oktoberfest a couple years before as well. So in Budapest, there's these things called bars called ruin bars.
Okay.
And that's what you're looking at when you're looking at all the wall. They're basically in these old parts of Budapest, it's just these old bars that are run by the youth, the younger people of Budapest. And I like to liken it to if an English art student, or sorry, just said it myself. If a European art student inherited grandma's attic and said, can I swear?
The artwork is very yes.
But you said, like we marked up on all of it. We cut it in half,
Right.
and then like most of the artwork is all just written on and painted over, and like all the furniture is thrift, but we painted on some of the furniture too. It's like it's all this old world art and old world aesthetic, but we've just kind of like did whatever the hell we wanted with
For
it.
Halloween, honestly, just put a little couple cobwebs up and a little blood, and it's pretty close to it already being kind of creepy as it is.
We actually encourage people. We have like liquid paint markers or whatever. We full on encourage people. It's like just start writing on the wall. Like
Love it.
There's no reason to not make this place your own and in that way. And like so.
Also, years down the line, people can come by.
We have like a couple bills from around the world up there from some of the tourists. We've started that collection. So it's very eccentric.
Yeah.
And so it's funny how the easiest analogy is English pub. And yes, we have like the Union Jack by the bathroom that have been up there for a while. The ones that are hanging on the ceiling. I forget when we put that up. It's like they just look old.
Yeah.
And so it's funny, and then we have the fish and chips, obviously. But we also have
we also have
this.
mash.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Well, no, we don't have the English mash. We have the German sausage plate.
Oh, okay. That's what I saw. That's what I saw.
We have tortas and we have sandwiches. So I think that overall we're gonna start doing a lot more like Euro-centric worldly stuff, especially when I start bringing in a little more Belgian beer, which I really want. I miss Belgian beer. No one has Belgian beer right now. It's hard to find. But but in terms of aesthetics, like we're a little bit of a hodgepodge of a lot of different things, and I think that's kind of what makes it very unique in here.
Yeah. It's like Cracker Barrel, but if it was cool.
I think the way I've described it in the past, where it's like, I mean, we don't have the outdoor setup that Truck Yard does, but it's like, it's like if you took Truck Yard and made it Euro and called it Euro Trash.
Well, technically, the brewery is European, so yeah. Also, another OG of the brewery.
Absolutely. And so to answer the other part of your question with the beer selections, I've gone back to. I mean, every brewer will tell you they want to do this. Gone back to roots and gone back to more traditional styles, but just make them the best that you can possibly do.
Yeah.
And like every brewer that's over a certain age will tell you the exact same thing. That's all they want to do is they want to make lagers and amber ales.
Yep.
Some neighborhoods it works, some neighborhoods it doesn't, and I'd like to think it's working so far here. And at the very least, I want to make sure that if I'm going to, it's going to be the best possible one that you're going to get.
Yeah, that's good.
And when people come in from around the world, they actually really appreciate that. Like the English ale I have on right now, I've had a couple. Scotsman was in there the other day. He's like, dude, I'm back at the pubs. I was like, that's nice. And then I had an Englishman come in the next day. He's like, you can't believe him. Like, all right. We get Aussies in here all the time. They love the Bishop Arts Lager.
Yeah.
I had a Munich brewer was in here 2 weeks ago, and he